Hey guys, it's the GothicSlenderman, or Gothic Static, depending on which channel you're watching this on. Now, I decided to make a video for both channels because recently I got a few questions after I released that Your Random vlog where I asked for questions for the next video. Little did I know I got a lot of questions about my channel. I mean, I probably should have expected that, but nonetheless. I got so many questions that I figured I might as well make a top 10 list with all the questions I got. Not top 10 questions, but top 10 facts of GothicSlenderman and Gothic Static. This will be for both channels. And no, this is not from 10 to 1 or vice versa. This is just 10 facts you need to know about the channel GothicSlenderman. Or Gothic Static. These videos can get confusing. Let's begin nonetheless! I was born on the day March 28th, 1996. And after I was born, we went from Maryland to Pennsylvania and vice versa. I was born in Maryland, but we went vice versa for quite some time. Until we settled in a little home, which this image I got from Google Maps in 2004 in Pennsylvania. And I've lived in that home for 8 years, which is the longest point in my life I've ever lived in a single home. Basically, in the year 2012, we decided to be a little adventurous and move over to the state of Washington, which we've been here for 2 years now. Now, of course, some of you know my sister. She's actually 20 years old. She was born on December 9th, 1994. She's only a year and a few months older than me. She's still in Pennsylvania because by the time we left she was 18 and she was able to make that decision on her own. I'm proud of her for it. Now, how did I find out about YouTube? Well, me and my sister used to go on different websites back then. In like 2007 I found this website called Funny Junk, which was YouTube before YouTube. And now it's just, you know, nothing but internet memes. Funny Junk, you're not as funny as you used to be. I'm not laughing. Haha. No, no. In 2008, my sister showed me 2 videos on a website called YouTube. There were Salad Fingers and Charlie the Unicorn. And so like, what is this? So I decided to make my own channel and try and start making videos. When I was a little tech, like 5, maybe 6, I used to borrow my grandmother's camera and try to make little videos. So this kind of where the influence in me wanting to become a director came to be. Well, maybe that's where it started. I'm not sure where it really came to be. In 2008, I made the channel JetRay102. Yet in the 2010, the email was destroyed and there was no way to access it. In fact, there's still no way to access it to this very day, even though the channel is still there. So I made JetRay103. Yet right after I moved to Washington, I figured that channel was filled with nothing but stupid videos. Some good ones, don't get me wrong, but they're kind of eh. And nothing but updates that would never really come to be. So I decided to make a fresh start on GothicSlenderman. And of course you guys know in 2014, recently I made a new channel, Gothic Static, for my comedy skits and short films and whatnot. I made GothicSlenderman because at that point in time, I just got introduced to the entity of the Slenderman, and I was like, what is this? I was like, ooh! So I decided to make my first channel, GothicSlenderman. My second channel, Gothic Static, actually went through many different names before I picked Gothic Static. These ideas for other names were GothicSlenderman 2, GothicSlenderman Online, Gothic Fire, and Gothic Films, before I decided on Gothic Static, because how static is always well integrated in horror. Like whether you get killed in the game Slender, killed in Five Nights at Freddy's or Five Nights at Freddy's 2, or like that crazy kid that's always staring at the TV screen with static and he goes, "They're here." Static is always integrated into horror in a perfect way, but it's always unappreciated. So that's why I called my channel Gothic Static. Now for the symbol. This is the symbol for GothicSlenderman. This is the one for Gothic Static. They're very similar but quite different. The difference is that the symbol that's in the C. You see, the main symbol is C111, which is Roman numerals for 103, or 103, which kind of brings back old memories of JetRay103. In fact, it's meant to be an homage to that. The inverted pentagram that's inside the GothicSlenderman symbol is not meant to be Satanism. Many people always are all like, oh, Satanism! I don't even believe in God. I mean, if you believe in God, it's your thing, it's your right, and I respect that, but I myself do not believe in Christianity. So if I don't believe in Christianity, why would I believe in the devil? And plus, the symbol can mean many things, not just a Christian belief. Like, in the pagan beliefs, it means the god of the hunt. And for Wiccans, it means faith, and it's a symbol of protection. Now, I am not into paganism, and I am not a Wiccan, or however you pronounce that. So I'm just giving out good examples that the symbol does not mean evil things. The other symbol I chose for Gothic Static is kind of a reference to the Slenderman. This symbol, the X with a circle, is meant to represent Slenderman, but it doesn't just work with Slenderman. It's been used multiple times. I can't bring up many examples. So what I'm saying is that the symbol, while it's known to be connected to Slenderman, it's not its only thing. Some of you guys who follow me on my DeviantArt, I recently changed my title from Jetray103 to Gothic Static. But some of you who are fans of my DeviantArt also know that I make a lot of designs for characters, mainly female characters, or OCs, which stands for Original Character. Do not steal! But some of you may have already noticed that a lot of my female characters actually have wider hips and bigger thighs. It sounds weird, but this is actually intentional. Why? Because I'm a pervert? No. It was actually done because I've seen many female characters in TV shows, anime, video games, always have like, oh, this perfect figure that's really hard to keep. And it gives this message like, hey, if you want to be socially accepted, you gotta have this kind of body type. And I'm just like, no, you don't. So that's why most of my female characters actually have wider hips. And no thigh gap. No Gothic Slenderman female character has a thigh gap. That's why many of my characters, even my mascot Scarlet Fallen, Alice Darkson, Eclipse Vincent, all have wider hips. Which is ironic because Alice Darkson was the very first character that incorporated this idea, even though she has a six-pack. Now I'll give you a little story. Every other female character that has this idea was made solely for making people getting people to know that you don't have to have this pixel-perfect body. But Alice Darkson started kind of like that, but the very first idea is because I was getting a little pervy. But the main idea of Alice Darkson's figure of the six-pack, yet also she has wider hips, is because, one, I was a pervert at that point in time. I designed Alice in 2013. I'm getting all red now. In Bloody Madness, all the main characters have a certain origin with their names, mainly their last names, which, most of them have to deal with bands or artists, mainly with metal or alternative. For example, Karthik Slitkon was inspired by Slipknot. Eclipse Minson was inspired by Marilyn Manson. Mika Siren was influenced by Sleeping with Sirens. Misery Chittum was inspired by Children of the Bodom. And Killix is kind of a unique origin, because not only is her last name, but her first name also comes from the same idea. She was designed to be kind of like Grateful Buster, like the rival of the main character. Her name comes from the dubstep band Skrillex. Just remove the S and the R and you got Killix. And her last name is a mix between two of their songs, Centipede and Bangarang, which results in Centibang. And Shade was originally going to be named Shadow. However, we didn't want people to constantly be comparing Shade to another character that ironically has the name Shadow. And at the same time, we wanted a name that was more cute for Shade. I designed Corinthus Demania actually way back in the beginning of 2013 as a simple prank to scare my friends. Yeah, that scared the shit out of them. I made an alternative Facebook page called Corinthus Demania. Corinthus is Latin for bloodthirsting, and Demania is just demon but with an I and A at the end of it. You see, I usually just message a bunch of people and prank them, and they come to me and it's like, do you know this guy named Corinthus Demania on Facebook? He's messing with me. And I'm just like, no. No. But eventually I revealed myself and everyone was just like, you dick! But eventually I grew attached to Corinthus, so that's why I made him have his own series, like the incarnation of Corinthus Demania, which is the main villain of that. A lot of people seem to like Corinthus and his designs, because I get fan art for that all the time. But many of my friends hate Corinthus because of what happened. Corinthus's red smile was influenced by SCP-473. In fact, many times on YouTube thumbnails, I use the image of SCP-173 to describe Corinthus Demania. Jake and Nightmare was starring literally my Black Lab Jake and my Pomeranian Nightmare. Jake is we actually got him back in 2004 when we first moved to Pennsylvania. He was 2 at that point in time, so now he's 12 years old. Yeah, he's really old. Nightmare, we got when she was 2 last year. We had to go down to the state under Washington, which I believe is Oregon. I can't seem to remember. But now she is 3 years old. And the thing about Jake's personality, in Jake and Nightmare, he's just depicted as an old, grouchy old man. But really, he's a joyful little guy. He's a joyful big guy who always wants attention. He's the cutest little thing. He's just as cute as Nightmare. Sometimes he puts his head in your leg and wanting attention. Oh, he's so cute.
Jake, I found something! I found something, man! What the hell do you want?
Now, I just want to clear this up, because this is a topic that's iffy on some YouTube accounts. You guys are able to make fan art. In fact, I really would love I really love some of the fan art I've received recently. I mean, it's just fucking amazing what you guys are capable of. But I just want to make things clear. You guys are able to make fan art. I'm not one of those YouTubers who's just like, no, you can't do that! Because I've seen a few that have done that. I'm not going to say any names. But you guys are able to make fan art as long as you give credit where credit is due. You can even draw certain events, characters, Scarlet Fallen, my mascot, some characters on my DeviantArt if you like. In fact, if you have fan art, you could message me on DeviantArt and show them me. I mean, like, as long as you guys give credit where credit is due. And if I use your images in any of my videos, I will give credit to you. Trust me on that. I have shown fan art on my YouTube channel before, and I have always given credit. Why did I make Gothic Slenderman or Gothic Static? Well, for a while, actually this month I've been great, but before this, I've been going for depression for 3 years now, and even longer than that, from what I remember. It was a horrible time. But, you know, making videos is really the one thing that makes me smile, the one thing that makes me happy. It was amazing and fun. So I decided to, you know, do that. And now I don't really have a lot of depression anymore. In fact, I've been in a good mood for quite some time. And the real reason I continue what I do is because I want people to know that no matter how hard things get, I want them to know that there's always something there that can make you smile at the end. No matter how hard things get, there's something to look forward to. So that's why I made Gothic Slenderman and Static, to make you guys happy, to make those who are suffering smile. And so far I've been able to do that, and people message me sometimes saying how I've helped them and how my videos made them smile, and that's all I really wanted to do, was to make people smile. People have asked me when I became a goth or why I am a goth. Well, in 8th grade I became interested in the Gothic subculture, but I wasn't really a goth at that point in time. So in 8th grade I was kind of looking up stuff about the Gothic subculture. I wanted to learn more about it. And in 9th grade, in 2011, I became a goth. Now, why do I call myself a goth? I know some goths don't like to be labeled, but I myself do not mind the whole labeling thing. You guys want to call me a goth? Okay, that's what I am. It's just like, I feel more comfortable in the color black. I love the dark and eerie things. I love the idea of walking through the snowy wonderland that has dead trees all over the place. I like the idea of walking through a post-apocalyptic city where people, okay, not people were dying, but like, just a city of rubble. Oh, man. If I can make my own amusement park, you all would hate it. What I'm saying is I always was interested and I love dark and eerie things, and which is why I mainly dress in black. And that's also because... Oh, no, you didn't! And that's why I mainly dress in black, because I feel more comfortable in the color black. Now, many people have asked me about my mascot, Scarlet Fallen. Where did she come from? Where did I think the idea of her? Well, not too long ago, I wanted to make a character that would represent Gothic Slenderman. This is before Gothic Static was even a thought. Originally, I wanted to use Mr. Tuggles or Alice Darkson as the mascot, but they kind of had their own series already, and I kind of wanted to make a character that didn't have a series at that point in time. So I thought for many different ideas, and I instantly thought of like those anime characters that had like the ears and the tail of wolves or cats, and Scarlet Fallen, she has the ears and the tail and fangs, yes, she has fangs in case you couldn't see them, of a wolf. And why does she have red and black? Well, most Gothic Slenderman characters, including Alice Darkson, Misery, Shade, all have a similar color scheme, which is red and black. And that color scheme is what represents Gothic Slenderman and Gothic Static. That's why her jeans, shoes, the base of her tail, her hair, and the outside of her ears are black, while the inside of her ears, her eyes, sweat jacket, and the tip of her tail are red. She's just adorable. I honestly love the idea of Scarlet, and a lot of people tell me that they like Scarlet Fallen too. I mean, I really wanted a mascot that other people would like, and I'm glad that people love Scarlet as much as I do. Scarlet Fallen's personality is kind of more energetic. She's really joyful, which is why you see her making this face. Her favorite phrase is Nya, you know? Yeah. And what you didn't know is in the back of her sweatshirt is actually a Gothic Slenderman symbol on it. But those are 10 facts about Gothic Slenderman and Gothic Static. I hope you all have enjoyed this list, and I hope you've learned more about Gothic Static and Gothic Slenderman. And I just hope you enjoyed overall. I don't want to go into too much detail of what's going on recently. I have a big announcement coming soon, but I might not be able to talk about it for quite some time. So, without further ado, make sure to like, maybe favorite, and subscribe if you want to see some more. I make videos almost every day, and we all see fish in the ceiling at least once in our lives.